Mox Opal was once a pillar of modern, until an old man, and this shirtless guy, got it banned in 2020. Mox Opal decks were fun.
It does take a while to explain.
And fair.
This deck looks hard to play.
But some called its impact problematic and concerning. Now, Mox Opal is back, alongside far worse cards like Faithless Looting, Green Sun Zenith, and Splinter Twin. While Splinter Twin is the clear combo card among these, it has not stood the test of time. Instead, Mox Opal slots right into the Underworld Breach combo deck. You just need Breach, Grinding Station, and a Mox Opal or Mox Amber. You float a mana, sack it to station, milling yourself, and recast it with Breach. Repeat this process until you mill your whole deck and win with Thassa's Oracle. Match 1, we're on the play and keep a mediocre hand because it has Underworld Breach. Our Preordain sees Mox and Emery on top. I leave both and hold the Amber. Our opponent surveils a Desperate Ritual to the bin with Parlor, so we know they're on Storm. Knowing this, I rumble turn 2 so we have the most mana on turn 3, because if they play a Ruby or Rao, we'll need to combo first. I take Mox Opal off Rumble and pass. They cast Reckless Impulse, revealing Ruby and a land. We draw another Opal for turn and decide to go for the kill, as our opponent can likely win on their turn and we have no way of stopping them. While Emery doesn't mill the combo, we do have Malevolent Rumbles to dig for Grinding Station, so I cast Breach and Rumble. This is a tight spot, as I'm pinched on mana, so we need to hit. We miss on our Rumble, but hit Soul Guide Lantern to turn on Metalcraft. I play it using the Scion, float mana with Mox Opal, and cast the other in my hand to cast Rumble. This one hits, and we pick up Grinding Station, and our opponent concedes as we have the combo. We board in Spell Pierce, Force, and Tormod's Crypt. Our 7 on the draw can't combo fast, but can slow them down with Tormod's Crypt. We dump our hand and cast a Rumble, which fixes our issue and finds Breach. In their upkeep, I bauble them and see Rao. They play Ruby Medallion and pass. I Rumble again to hit a land and hold up Unholy Heat, but miss. As an extra layer of protection, I play Soul Guide Lantern. I think I'm dead if they flip Rao and ultimate him, but their first Rao flips early, and since I'm the luckiest man alive, they lose 3 consecutive coin flips. The Rao doesn't flip, and I live to see another turn. Now with 0 lands in play, I grab a Mox Amber, cast Emery, then Preordain to find a land, playing Tamiyo. On their turn, they delete my legendary creatures, but not my will to win. On my turn, I jam Breach, dig with Emery and some Rumbles to find Station, and win. Turn 3, I had no lands. Turn 4, I win. Match 2, we win the die roll, lucky, and keep a turn 2 Emery hand, and our opponent reveals Devourer of Destiny. I bin a Saga with my Surveil, and foolishly pass without casting my 0 mana spell. They play Eldrazi Temple and Chalice of the Void on 0. What they don't know is that I'm the master of overcoming insurmountable odds, and even after my Preordain draws another 0 mana spell, I have a route to victory, and his name is Urza Saga Constructs times 2. Saga finds Haywire Might to answer Chalice, and I cast Emery. Construct Smackdown begins. Might exiles Chalice and I dump my hand. With Breach, I cast Emery to dig a bit and see if we can combo, since our opponent has so much mana and a myriad of ways to disrupt Breach. We ultimately miss, and I just attack for 10, putting them to 7. They cast a Breach of their own, which is notably far worse, and puts in an Annihilator 7 Ulamog. I sacrifice everything but my constructs and artifacts to kill them on the crackback, and it works. I board in Consign, Force, and Nature's Claim. We mold a 5, and I keep a hand reliant on flipping Tamiyo, which is honestly kind of bad against Eldrazi of all decks. I cast Opal, Bauble, and Tamiyo, passing the turn. Opponent casts Stonebrain and Tormod's Crypt, which is actually unfair and not allowed. On my turn, I surveil a Rumble to the bin looking for Nature's Claim. I cast another Preordain, which accomplishes nothing, but Tamiyo's flipped now, so that's cool, I guess. They crack the Stonebrain and name Urza Saga, which is actually backbreaking. On my turn, I use Tamiyo to rebuy Preordain, looking for Nature's Claim again. I find Consign and keep it, but thanks to my strategic sequencing, I cast Emery after Preordain and mill Thassa's Oracle. Because of the Tormod's Crypt, they'll exile my only win con in response to Breach. With this in mind, I board in the Turtle Warrior as a backup plan for Game 3. Our 7 can likely combo turn 3, so we keep. Thanks to the powers of learning, I cast my Mox Amber to play around Chalice. They play a 20-year-old Magic card and pass. I surveil with my 2024 Magic card and leave Bauble on top to cast my Emery for 1 this turn. The Casino Gods taketh away and mill my Thassa's Oracle again. I cast Grinding Station and pass, ready to combo on turn 3. They play Ugin's Labyrinth and pass, holding up presumably an uncounterable Kozilek's command, which could exile my only Thoracle in response to Breach. After running the calculations, I knew my out was them making a mistake. They had seen my deck list from the Stonebrain. They knew I couldn't win without my 1 Thassa's Oracle. In all 6 million futures, the only reality where I win is if I bait them into eating my Bauble with their Kozilek's command. My heroic aura is too much for them, and they actually exile my Bauble. I cast Underworld Breach and win from there because of Thassa's Oracle. Match 3, I keep a hand that can flip Tamiyo turn 2 on the draw. The opponent plays Bloodstained Mire and passes, which makes me not want to jam Tamiyo into a possible removal spell. To better inform my decision, I bauble them and see a consider, which tells me they're likely Grixis, which means Tamiyo has a high chance of just dying. We bauble them on their turn so we can flip Tamiyo on ours with Preordain. They Thoughtseize us and take redundant Tamiyo, then shock in Watery Grave. This tells me they have push if we try to flip Tamiyo, so I play Rumble instead. Sadly, they've Spell Snare, but I still think this was correct. They pass again with 3 mana up, so I Preordain drawing an Emery. I play Tamiyo, as I expect them to have the answer, and I would prefer to keep Emery. They dismember Tamiyo, paying 4 life despite being able to pay, so this tells me they're on Death Shadow. They pass again. I attack with Haywire Might, cast Emery, and then they Bowmaster the Might. On their turn, they make an attack that reps another Bowmaster, and like the powerhouse gambler I am, I call their bluff and eat their orc. I draw Tamiyo, play Bauble off Emery, and they do nothing again, so I crack Bauble to flip Tamiyo on our turn, cracking a clue. After rumbling for a Saga, they've seen enough and scoop. We board in Flame of Anor, Kappa, and Spell Pierce. Our 6 yet again hinges on Tamiyo, and this time we jam her turn 1 with Spell Pierce for their Dismember. We bauble on their turn, they cast Broken Card Psychic Frog, and we draw a 3rd Mox Amber and a redundant Tamiyo. I flip Tamiyo, hit Saga, and elect to just empty my hand completely to blank any counterspells. They bounce our Tamiyo and attack our Tamiyo with the Frog to draw a card. I draw a $170 card for turn and pass with Saga up. They play at 1 mana 6/6, I make a construct, untap, and make another construct. While I've been tinkering with my silly little artifacts, my opponent was fiddling with their life total. I grab Lantern off Saga and attack with Tamiyo and a construct to make a clue, which forces a chump block on the 7/7 construct. I have now put them in the abyss. Surely no blue or black card could possibly win them this game. It was in that moment that I realized my hubris, my sheer foolishness. It wasn't a blue or black card at all, it was a red card. The strong anti-artifact card, Meltdown X=1, is simply too late. I draw cards in response, seeing a Spell Snare with Bauble, and they keep Tamiyo off ult with Frog. I bauble again on my turn and don't cast the Rumble into Spell Snare. I see they have Bitter Triumph on top to answer Tamiyo, so I attack to make a clue. I draw my 4th Tamiyo, they kill my Planeswalker, and I chump the Frog to prevent them from drawing. My draw step finds an Holy Heat for the Frog, and it's smooth sailing from there as I flip Tamiyo and eventually copy my Breach with Shifting Woodlands to combo. Temur Breach is on my short list of strongest decks in the format, and my current choice for the Modern Regional Championship in Charlotte. Decklist is in my Mox field in the description. Mox Opal, forever.